Welcome, my constant reader friends. I'm Tad, and this is Tad Read Books and Stuff. All right, so welcome back to the next installment of the MARVEL-ous Team-up with Grozz from the GKBC and yours truly, Tad from Tad Reads Books and Stuff. All right, so this is a series that Grozz and I are doing. We've been doing it for quite a while. Hopefully you've been kind of checking it out. But it is reading of graphic novels, comic books, things like that. We do our videos about every 2 weeks or so. And this is the book that we're reading now. This is called The Righteous Thirst for Vengeance. The writer is Rick Remender. The artist is Lima Araujo. I think that's how you say his name. Forgive me, I'm sorry, Andre. And colors by Chris O'Halloran. So, where are we? Last video, we left off. We did chapters 1, 2, and 3. This is chapters 4, 5, and 6. So, let's get right into it, all right? So, we open up in chapter 4. Let me see if I can find it for you. All right, so we open up in Chinatown. All right, continuing with the black and white theme for the cover page of each chapter. We are in Chinatown, and it opens up with, it looks like there's two men, and they're going through the apartment of our mysterious protagonist. Really don't know his name. I'm just going to call him Blue, because in one of the other chapters, when he went into the dark web, he looked for a job. It looks like a hitman job, and it was Mr. Blue or something like that. I'm just going to call him Blue. He wears a blue suit for now until we find out what his real name is. We may never do that. Two men are in his apartment, and they're ransacking the place. They've got a specialist in there that's going through his personal computer. Looks like they've broken into it and they're finding out some information about Mr. Blue. Yeah, they totally ransacked his place. They, in turn, call the person that we saw previously that was in a high-class, looked like sex club. And this is the gentleman who actually put the hit out on the girl that Blue saved from being assassinated. We don't know why, but this guy put out a hit on her, and I guess he's bankrolling this whole deal. Of course, Mr. Blue threw a wrench in that, ended up killing the other guy who was with him to kill her, escaped with her, but then she said, "What are you doing? My son's back in the apartment." So they're on their way back to the apartment, but these two guys now have called him. So somehow these two guys must be working for this. I believe he's some wealthy man, and for some reason he wanted her killed. So they've called him, and they give him some information. It's kind of cryptic, their conversation, but he says, sounds like this might be a job for him. What does that mean? Who's him? Him must be maybe some other special hitman that they're going to now send to have to now take care of the original target, the woman, and Mr. Blue. All right, so we go away from that, and now we're in the car, and Mr. Blue has, decided, oh crap, we got to go get her son. So they go back. Now her name is Neva. He and Neva now cruise back to her apartment, go into the apartment, and there's her younger son. I don't know exactly how old he is, maybe 9-ish, I believe, I would say. Not quite a teenager, but not a little kid, not like 5 years old or something. And he's, of course, standing there, and he's looking at this dead hitman in his kitchen, like frozen. She comes rushing in, grabs him, picks him up. His name is Xavier. Well, now Mr. Blue says, we got to get the hell out of here. They're tracking us down. he already knows they're tracking them down because he's getting messages on his phone from the dark web. So there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. They get out of the apartment as quick as they can. They get in the car. As they're driving away in the car, they notice that there's somebody watching. Somebody sitting in the car, a car all ready, scoping out the apartment, watching them drive by, and he's got a cell phone. And he's just got a deadpan face, and he's just videotaping them as they drive by. They know they're already being seen. They take off. This car takes off. Now we've got a chase scene. He's chasing them. They're going through town. They run in. They go down the street, and of course, there's a bus parked in front of it. They can't get through. They have to get out. Now maybe it's Mr. Him, I guess, gets out of his car. Now there's a scuffle. Neva runs away with Xavier and takes off, and Him, I'm just going to keep calling him Him until we know his name, Him, chases after them, and there's a scuffle. It's a mess. It's a messy scene. They get away from him. You got to read it. And they get back to their car and they take off again. And it's kind of weird because Mr. Blue, I'm calling him Mr. Blue, he supposedly was just this insurance investigator, but there's something going on because he does have some skills. He has some knowledge about the dark web and things like that. So I'm wondering, who this Mr. Blue, he was called the Blue Jackal, but I'm just going to call him Mr. Blue for now. And the interesting thing is they get away, and there was a bum on the street. In the last scene of chapter 4, we see these cops pull up and start asking questions of this bum who witnessed this, and guess who they are? Yep, the cops are the two guys that were in Mr. Blue's apartment, ransacking his apartment. So now what? Now are these cops working for this mysterious rich man, I'm assuming, that put out the hit on Neva? I don't know. We'll find out. So that's the end of chapter 4. We'll go to chapter 5. Now, chapter 5 takes place in... Let me find that for you. Ooh, here's a picture. Here's a picture of the guy, him, in the car with the cell phone, just videotaping them. And he videotapes everything. He videotapes the chase. He videotapes the confrontation with them. There's something weird going on. And if you remember when the hitmans were supposed to go and kill Neva, this mysterious guy who supposedly hired them wanted everything videotaped. He wanted to see it. So that's interesting. All right, so let's go on to chapter 5. And chapter 5 takes place in Murrayville, British Columbia. This is intriguing over here, these two pictures over here. I'm loving this. The artwork is fantastic. The storytelling is cryptic, but cool and edgy, I'm really loving it. So in chapter 5, Mr. Blue, Neva, and Xavier's in the back seat now of this car. Apparently Mr. Blue has made some contacts, looked up some information on the dark web, and he's found this place. It's a bar, it's like a biker bar, where he can go to and make contact with a person to get some forged passports and a credit card, new names and stuff, so that they can hopefully get away. Because it's apparent now, they're being hunted, and they got to get away or they're gonna die. So he goes to this bar, goes to the bartender, starts talking. Bartender's talking cryptically to him. He's talking to him. He's like, okay, I know who you are. I know what you want. Let's go in the back room. So I guess that's who he was supposed to come in contact with was the bartender. They go in the back room. Now there's already a news broadcast on the TV, and it's showing the picture of Mr. Blue at large. It says suspect at large, mass murderer. Oh geez. So now his name's being blasted all over the place. They go in the back room. The dude says, "Okay, I can get you what you need, but it's going to be cash. Do you have it on you?" And he's like, "No, I'll go get it." So he goes, "No problem. Come back, later after the bar's closed. Bring me cash, and I'll have the stuff for you." So, of course, they drive out. They take some time. Neva is really scared. She just wants to leave, and he's like, "We can't now. They sent 2 of us to kill you. You can't. We've got to run. You care about your son at all. We've got to run." She's like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." So they go back after hours to the bar, and he's like, "Stay in the car, you stay here. I'll go take care of this." And he goes up there, and of course, it's a setup. The bartender's there with a couple guys, and they are going to beat the crap out of him. They just, want the money. So that doesn't go too well. There's an altercation there. Mr. Blue shoots and kills one of the guys, well, the head guy, the bartender, and tries to run. They're chasing him. "We're going to kill you. We're going to hunt you down." Zoom, here comes Neva in the car. Boom, "Come on, I'll save you." And he jumps in the car, and they drive away, and these guys start opening up. They start shooting at him, and boom, they shoot Mr. Blue in the shoulder, and boom, they shoot Neva right in the chest and right in the neck, and yeah, killed her. She's dead. She's driving. Now the car goes out of control, down an embankment, smashes into a tree, flips over, and these guys are coming at him now. They're running down. They've got their guns. They're going to kill him. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, just like this machine gun fire, and kills those guys. Saves, what's left of the car, Mr. Blue and Xavier, because Neva's gone. Shocking. It was just, my jaw just hit the floor. Boom. Wow, I didn't expect that to happen. So now, who is this? Who just saved them? Well, it turns out to be this mysterious guy with a machine gun and a Band-Aid on his nose. Mr. Blue remembers seeing him at the bar, the biker bar. So he doesn't know what's going on, but he saved the day. He saved them. We don't know why. We don't know who he is or anything like that. But that's it. That's the end of chapter 5. So let's move on to chapter 6. I'll show you a picture of him. So there he is. If you can see him, this blonde-haired guy with a Band-Aid on his nose. That's who saved him. And we go on to chapter 6. Now chapter 6 is Hemlock Valley, British Columbia. So we're in Hemlock Valley, and it's 6 months later. We find out that the mysterious man who saved them, his name is Jim, apparently. We don't know. And they're kind of like in a commune. I don't know if it's a preppers commune or something like that, because Jim is training Mr. Blue how to shoot guns and stuff like that. We go back into the little community, and everybody, they've hunted deer, and they've got vegetables growing, and even Xavier is in a classroom with a teacher. But unfortunately, since the passing of his mother in such a horrific manner, Xavier is not talking. Xavier hasn't said a word since his mother was killed 6 months ago. But as we go through this scene of this commune where they're apparently hiding out, we see that Xavier and Mr. Blue are developing a father-son type relationship. Xavier loves him, and this is his father. Mr. Blue's, it's been 6 months. He's like, I got to go see my mother. Remember, his mother was in a convalescent home. I've got to go see my mother. And Jim is like, you're freaking crazy. They're trying to kill you. They've probably killed your mother. And you're going to go risk everything. You're going to risk us too, because if they get you, they'll probably find us. You know, you can't do that. You can't be that stupid. But he's like, well, they've probably forgotten about me. It's been 6 months. And he's like, no, they have not. So we go to a scene one night after dinner. He's sitting with Xavier on a rock and he's trying to get him to talk, but he's not. But you can see that he has developed feelings for Xavier as well, and he's talking to him, you know, like a father. Xavier drew a picture of them together holding hands, and you know, he understands how important Xavier is to him, but I don't know, because we still don't know much about Mr. Blue. Who is he really? What is going on here really? We don't know. But eventually they go to bed. They all sleep like in tents. And as we pull away from the scene where they've finally gone to bed, they're going to sleep, we see him. That's what I'm calling him still. And him has found them, and he's got another camera, and he's filming them. And that's the end of chapter 6. Wow, this is pretty cool. I'm really liking it. Again, the artwork, the color work is awesome. The story, again, is cryptic enough, you know, it's not really giving things away. It slowly reveals things, but things happen constantly you're not expecting, which is kind of cool. I like that too. But we'll see. What do the police have with this guy? Who is this guy that hired the hit on Neva? Who is, and now that, I mean, Neva's dead, that was the original hit. Why is he still now so, you know, focused on Mr. Blue? I don't know. We don't know any of this. I'm sure we're going to learn. All right. I hope you check out Grozz's channel on the GKBC. I hope you are enjoying this series, this book. If you're interested in it, or if you've read it, please let me know in the comments. Tell us what you think of it if you've read it. I'd be interested. And we're going to keep this going. Again, please check out Grozz's channel. I'll link his channel below. So next will be chapters 7, 8, and 9 in about 2 weeks. All right. If you found any entertaining value in my videos, please like, subscribe, and as usual, send me some comments. I love reading the comments. Until next time, peace out.